The exercise for today is going to be how to draw the corner of a room to emphasize one visual element. This drawing that I've done here emphasizes the corner of the room that I'm going to draw with a green screen. So basically this would be maybe a drawing or a concept drawing that I would send to a maintenance crew or somebody who's going to install it in the room. And in fact, that's something like what I did when I had this installed. So I'll show you how to make a speculative drawing like this. And this is sort of a perspective drawing. Basically, I want to start with my blank page. I want to decide if I want to be in portrait or in landscape format. And then I want to think about what I want to emphasize. And in this case, the green screen is the important part, but I want to show it in relationship, scale-wise, to the door that it's going to be next to. So as I'm looking at the wall over there, I think, okay, maybe the dominant part of my page, just off center to the left, and if I were to split my page in half, this way and this way, I'll see that my green screen can fit somewhere just to the left, and that leaves a little bit of room for a doorway over here. So whenever you're doing a drawing of a corner of a room or any sort of interior architecture, you want to start with your vertical lines, because no matter where you look, you're going to see those vertical lines as always being vertical. And so I'm going to draw the corner like so. Next thing I want to do is, using this clock method, I'm going to pretend there's a sheet of glass right in front of me. I'm going to put the pencil up to the sheet of glass, and I can only turn this pencil like a clock. I can't punch through the glass. I can only go this way. And I'm going to close one eye, and I'm going to turn the hands of the clock, and I'm going to line up my first edge, which looks like it's just about 2:30. And then I'm going to draw that line here. I'm going to repeat that same thing for the right side wall, which looks like it's at about just maybe 9:30, something like this. I'm going to do the same for the top. And then lastly, one line about here. Now I can see that in my drawing immediately. You can see that I've placed the corner over here, and now I have more door than I do green screen. As you can see my original drawing, I've placed that center line way off to the edge. And that's okay. You don't want to dedicate too much of your time to detail at this point. You're just going to have to make the correction like I'm going to do. So I'm going to move the corner over here, and I'm just going to simply change the location. And it's good to have this sort of residual line work in here, because that will add a little bit of dimension to the drawing. It's not really necessarily a bad thing. Because this is a speculative sketch, you don't have to worry about it looking photographic. Now that I've moved my line over, you can see that I just redrew these lines, and of course the floor and the wall and the ceiling and the wall match. And I'm going to look up, and I know that the green screen that I'm trying to draw in on this wall is about the size of the wall, about this big. And I'm going to draw this one a little bit bigger than the original drawing that I showed you. And then I want to kind of guess how many doors would fit on this wall. Well, only one, but I have quite a bit of room between the ceiling and the top of the door, and I'm just going to estimate. So I know that more or less the green screen is just a little bit bigger than the door. I can compare those two side to side, and maybe I'll need to shrink the size of my door. And that's really it. The next thing you want to do is add line weight to the element that you want to emphasize. So this is where the green screen needs to go. Maintenance crew, please install the green screen in this location. Things to avoid when you're doing this type of drawing are A, doing too much detail too early in the drawing, because you see I had to move my wall over, or the corner over to the left a little bit. The next thing you want to avoid are short little sketchy lines like this. A lot of people like to, when they first start to sketch, do short sketchy lines. Draw all the way through. It's okay to have your lines run off the edge, like so. And then the last thing you want to do is not add detail where it's not necessary. I think anybody could agree that this looks like a door. You don't even need to put the handle or the window in there. That just draws the emphasis away from what's important, which is the central object. I placed it just off the left of center, so it's not boring, it's still a little bit interesting, so a little bit of asymmetry helps. And that's how you do a speculative drawing.